Hey, what's up guys, Lux here bringing you a new video, and today we're going to be taking a look at LEGO set 21167, the trading post. Now this is one of the newer LEGO Minecraft sets released back in December of 2020. 3 of them came out, all $20. It was a good little wave. We took a look at all of them in the channel, and I even recreated one of them already in Minecraft. These are always fun, so yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the trading post here today. This set has a bunch of neat stuff to take a look at here, and yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, as always, we're going to first take a look at the minifigures. Now, first off, we're starting with Steve here. And Steve, there's nothing too special about him. Obviously, in game, you know what he looks like. And as well as in LEGO Minecraft, there's not much different about him. The only difference you could argue there is that the printing on his face is a little bit more paler, which isn't really something to compliment LEGO for, comparing it to past iterations. But yeah, he comes with a stone sword accessory, as you can see in game. Stone sword, as you can see in the set. Stone sword as well. Not too much more to take a look at there when it comes to Steve. But moving on to a slightly more exciting figure. Here we got the skeleton. Now the skeleton, we know when we got in the past, nothing new about him either. But obviously you would want to get more of these. Or at least you wouldn't be bothered with getting more of these, considering it's a bit of an army or mass builder. You can always find multiples of these guys in the game. So it would make sense to get more of them and be included in most sets, as you can just build them up and have them scattered all over your little Minecraft world. He doesn't look too out of place in the recreation or the set. So yeah, that has been the skeleton figure. Moving on. Next up here, we're going to be taking a look at the most controversial figure of the set, which is the Wandering Trader himself. Now, if you look at him in-game, obviously he looks very detailed. This is what we typically know him as, given that he was first introduced in the game, so that's what we're used to seeing. I'm sure if you play the more recent versions of Minecraft, you see this guy just spawning around you, along with his llamas, which we'll get into in a bit. But looking at him here and comparing it to this one, the LEGO version, there's definitely a dip in quality, if you want to call it that. Obviously, you can't expect everything to be a one-to-one replication, but here, the printing, it's fairly lacking. For a figure I argue that people have been wanting for a while, they definitely under-delivered. He's a lot less detailed than what we see in-game right here. Obviously, he's missing a good bit of red on the face, and just overall, the face is what really makes him not look that good in minifigure form. There's a lot of detail on the face for the Minecraft counterpart, and when you take a look at the LEGO one, there's definitely some colors missing there. Kind of disappointing to see, but really, what can you expect? It's LEGO. They cheap out on these things sometimes, and unfortunately, the Wandering Trader was a result of that. It's still great to have him in a set here. Just disappointing that he could have looked a lot better, at least if LEGO went the extra mile and added a few more colors to the face. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The Wandering Trader, a great inclusion. Obviously fitting for the trading post, but overall, not a great execution for the figure at least. But yeah, would definitely argue the Minecraft one is a bit better, just a bit better. But moving on from that, we got his trading llamas. Now, while the Wandering Trader suffered, I think LEGO exceeded in the llamas here. You get 2 iterations of llamas here, which the Wandering Trader can spawn with, which is the white llama and the tan llama. I think they recreated these guys pretty much perfectly. Now there's some nitpicks you can say, like, oh, there's some printing missing in the sides, or maybe the pattern on their little scarves there are missing some details. But in comparison to other figures, especially the Wandering Trader, these guys are like next level good. And the coloring of the llamas, as well as, you know, just their overall aesthetic look, are pretty good as well. No real complaints here. Very good inclusion. I'm happy with it, and yeah, definitely a real highlight from the set. Alright, now moving on to the build. Alright, now we're going to be taking a look at the build as a whole. Obviously, I took some creative liberties. Some things might be a little off. I'll explain them, etc., etc. But we're going to start from the left and work our way to the right. Anyways, let's start this. So first off, obviously the floor here is red sand instead of just typical sand. This is because this set is placed in the Mesa biome, given that we're going to look at in a bit this clay structure over here. But anyways, first off, let's take a look at the trading post itself. So here we got a little bit of a colorful build in LEGO. Definitely looks pretty good as a stand, small little stand. And over here in Minecraft, obviously, you can recreate it pretty well here with some of the carpeting and wool blocks that you have access to in game. Here for the stand, actually in LEGO form, there's a little function where you can twist a little knob, and it actually has a trading phase and just a flat table phase, if you want to call it that. Now what that represents is obviously when you trade with a Wandering Trader, as you'll see in game here. Obviously when you click on them, and it opens a little menu, all the items he has for sale But in the set itself, here it replicates a little bit of a trade. If you flip the table over, you can see a trade or offer for a cookie for an emerald. Obviously in Minecraft you can't really do that mechanism unless you have a ton of piston work and redstone, and a lot of different things have to match together. But here obviously we have the flat table phase where you can see the blue carpeting on top. Then obviously if you get the carpet off in game, you can have both items sitting here on the table like it's laid out in the set as well. So yeah, in Lego, a pretty neat feature for the set. In Minecraft here, obviously you can recreate it by replacing a few blocks. It lends itself pretty well for in-game and in Legos. Nothing too much more to take a look at here. That's been the little trading post, including the set. Moving over here to the right, we can obviously see a little bit of a mineshaft build. Now in Mesa biomes, if you ever explored one, you obviously know that these mineshafts are very common, even in like high Y levels. If you explore a mountain, you can see mineshafts scattered all over the place, even with sometimes spawners and loot chests. This one is just a typical one. Doesn't really lead into anything. Given that it's a $20 set, you know, there's not much more of an expansion. But here, Minecraft, I try to recreate it to the best of my abilities. Obviously, in the set, it's using a bit of a darker piece to represent the fencing on the sides of the mineshaft. Here, I use a darker fencing as well to try to replicate that. On top, you can see that there are 2 torches here. Now, in the set, there's 1 torch, so that's a little bit of a creative liberty that I took just so it doesn't look, just so the set looks symmetrical, because it's gonna bother me, I'll be honest. But I think adding an extra torch doesn't ruin much. Down here we have the rails, obviously. In front of the mineshaft, it's got a little bit of a dead bush here, just a small little detail that was added to the sets, so I pointed out here. And in the back, you can see a little bit more of that structure, just building a wall to stop the track, and a little bit of TNT here. And as we all know, when a TNT is included in the Minecraft set, it's gonna, you know, break some blocks apart, and obviously that's what it does. In the sets here, I'm not gonna recreate it because it will definitely do a little bit more damage and just move a few blocks out of the way, then I can just replace them. But you guys get the idea across, especially if you have this set or ever messed around with the Lego TNT function. But yeah guys, that is pretty much it for the set. A very fun one to recreate, definitely lends itself to try different things, especially with the different color clay. Obviously it's not perfect one-to-one coloring. I try to keep some of that like natural looking clay as the primary build. I could have used probably a better looking block, but I think this works pretty good. I also added an extra torch. Hopefully I don't get flamed too much for that, but OCD is a powerful thing, my friends. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. I'll have a playlist of past Lego Minecraft to actual Minecraft set recreation videos linked in the end, obviously, if you're interested. Hopefully I keep getting some more Minecraft sets so I can keep doing more of these videos. They're definitely a great time. But anyways, if you enjoyed, you know what to do is subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.